the worst decision Mark made was Josh McDaniels. I hated Josh McDaniels. Yes. I hope he sees this. He's the worst coach of my whole entire life. I'm still upset about that hiring. I'm still upset that we kept him that long.
Well,
I'm livid.
It ruined so much. It ruined so much because then you ended up having to, and I understand why, but then you had to go with the scapegoat of Derek Carr, who was the best quarterback we'd had in a long time.
And he wasn't able to get us
over the hump. Yeah. And
I was a Carr fan.
He didn't get us over the hump, but he was a good quarterback. And he was never given more than a couple years with a head coach. The one time, they were going into year 3 with John Gruden. How did that season start before all the turmoil? Like, you saw the writing was on the wall of what was going to happen. We ended up making the playoffs anyway, but what could have been had, John Gruden's past digressions not come into play in the NFL, so many years later. That's something you can't, some shit like that has nothing to do with football but it hurts, the fandom and stuff. It's kind of like, fuck, man, like that had nothing to do with what was happening at the time. They had a good thing going. They were trending in the right direction, probably going to make the playoffs anyway. Even probably do much better without all that turmoil.
Well, it was starting to click finally for the first time in a while, where like looking back on that too, and no one could have predicted the Henry Ruggs incident. Obviously, this horrible thing. Awful. But he was starting to play really good, and Derek finally had everything together. He had a good relationship with his coach, and that just felt like such a Raider thing to happen, right? And I feel like Mark firing Josh McDaniels on Halloween, best Halloween of my life. For the rest of my life, I'm going to bed. I was a new father, right? And I really needed sleep, and my phone just starts exploding. Like, I have my phone off most of the time, or it's certainly not vibrating, but the light was like, bling, 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 and I look over, and it was the Raiders update from the app said that they had fired Josh McDaniels on Halloween. I'm like, wow, this is the best. And so then now I'm up. Now I'm reading. I was up for like 3 hours text. I have a ridiculous text thread with some Raider fans. I'll add you to it if you want to even be part of this madness.
Please
it's insane.
Do. Yes, I would love
insane.
To.
We fight. It's intense.
I
have what I'd like to.
I'm in.
Okay, cool. I have some weird Raiders witchcraft where I'm able to predict things. I'm not there was this run where we won 4 in a row, and I went on the Athletics podcast. State of the Nation with Vic Tafer and some of those other beat writers. I've been on there a few times and just talking shit and predicting stuff. And so actually with Vic, he's hilarious. And I said, hey, the Raiders win the next 4 games. You have to sing Sail on the podcast. And they did win. And I came back. I was like, let's hear it. And he had to do it. So that's on record. But and I can't remember the slew of games that they won together that I predicted. But it was this weird. I also predict when we're going to lose. It's this weird thing. And I know to the listener right now I sound insane, but I weirdly am in touch with Raiders bullshit. I don't know why. But so yeah, the McDaniels firing, Halloween, good for Mark.